Hey, so today I'm going to do a 30-minute flow, and this flow is going to be mostly hip openers. So to get started, you'll want to sit on a block, or if you have a couple of blankets or pillows, just so your hips are higher than your knees. And you can come into any cross-legged position that's comfortable for you. Some people like to have their ankles underneath their knees, or you can have one heel in and then align the other heel of the other foot with the back heel. And so take a moment here to relax the shoulders. Feel the ears rise from the shoulders. Palms are facing into the thighs. And begin to take some neck rolls towards the right. Do it really slowly and pausing anytime you feel a crack or some tightness. And then begin rolling the neck to the other side, changing directions. Then eventually coming back to stillness, closing the eyes to feel how you feel. And open the eyes, sweep the arms out and up. Begin twisting to the right, placing your right hand onto either your sacrum or the floor behind you, and your left hand on top of the right thigh, gazing over the right shoulder. And you may be thinking, why are we doing twists if we want to be doing hip openers? But it's really important to warm up the body, as well as if there's tension in the hips, there's most likely tension in other parts of the body too. So we want to make sure we're nice and warmed up before we get into some deep hip stretches. So gazing over the right shoulder here, twisting through the torso, broadening the collarbones. Inhale through center, arms alongside the ears. Exhale to twist to the left, placing your left hand onto your sacrum and your right hand outside the left thigh, gazing over the left shoulder. And again, feeling the sit bones rooted into the block or the blanket or pillows. Taking a final breath here. Inhale to come back through center. And then exhale to come onto hands and knees. We're going to move through a couple rounds of cat and cow. So to get ready, your hips will be above the knees, shoulders will be above the wrists. Toes can be tucked or untucked. And on the inhale, drop the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the face for cow pose. Exhale, belly to spine, drop the face, cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, broaden the collarbones, lift the face for cow pose. Exhale, tuck the tummy, drop the face, cat pose. Take a couple more rounds of cat and cow at your own pace, following the rhythm of your own breath. So coming into cow pose on the inhale, and then on the exhale, coming into cat pose. After your next round of cat and cow, come to a neutral position, and then tuck the toes, press into the palms as you lift the hips back, finding a downward facing dog. So take any movements here that might feel nice for you. You can pedal the feet, nod the head yes, shake the head no thank you, and then eventually finding stillness here. We're going to come into an early hip opener here. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So inhale to sweep the right foot up towards the sky, and exhale, slide the right shin so it's parallel to, or towards parallel to the front of the mat. The back knee is down, and the back left toes are untucked. And so you want to try to aim to get this right ankle to hook around the left wrist, but if that's not what your body wants to do today, you can have your shin more at a diagonal, especially since this is very early in practice. Just scoot back a bit. And then slide your left knee back behind you. Inhale, press into the palms, so lift up. And exhale, begin walking your hands out however far you'd like to go. And if you'd like, you can put a block underneath that right outer hip, or a blanket or a pillow, whatever you may have. And just begin sinking into the pose here. I chose to come on forearms, keeping my neck long. Breathing into that right hip. Begin to press into the palms to lift yourself up, walking your hands closer towards your body, lifting the block if you have any props underneath that right hip. And then pressing into the palms, pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, finding downward facing dog. Wanted to move my mat back a little bit. And take any movements here that might feel nice for you. So you can lift the right foot up towards the sky, bend at the right knee, and then have your right knee facing outwards, and then begin drawing circles with that right knee. Going one way, and then changing directions, drawing circles the other way. Taking any movements here that would help release tension out of that right hip. Then inhale to sweep the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale to get the left shin parallel towards the front of the mat if you'd like, or have it lay on a diagonal. Press into the palms here, lift the chest, broaden the collarbones, and then begin walking your hands out in front of you, really folding into the body. And again, placing any props you would like to that left hip. Pay attention to the course of your breath. If it's smooth, it's a little rigid, and possibly seeing if you can make any adjustments to smoothen out the breath. So if the breath is a little shaky, you may want to back out a bit on the pose, rising up, or bringing the shin away from parallel. Taking a few more breaths in Raja Kapotasana on the left side. Begin to walk your palms in closer, releasing props if they're underneath that left hip. And then press into the palms, press into the right toes as you sweep your left foot back up towards the sky, bending at the knee here, having it face out towards the left, and drawing circles in the sky with your left knee. Going around one way, and then changing direction on the next. And then finding downward facing dog. Begin walking the feet to the hands. Taking a moment here to fold forward. And then heel toe your feet so they're about mat with distance. Again, I'm going to scoot back a little bit. And then bend up the knees and sink the hips back, finding a yogi squat here. So press the elbows into the thighs. You may want to grab a block and place it underneath the sit bones here, if you would like. And if your heel isn't on the ground, you can try moving your feet outwards even more. But it's okay if the heel doesn't actually touch. The heel is reaching towards the ground. Lower the right hand to the ground and lift the left hand up towards the sky, gazing over the left towards the left hand. Option here is to have your left hand bind by your right hip, and then you can wrap your right arm across your right leg, interlock the fingers here. Release hold of whatever you're holding on to, bringing your left arm up towards the sky once more, and then coming back through center. This time to lower the left hand towards the ground, releasing the right arm up towards the sky. You can stay here, or you can wrap your right hand over to the left hip, have your left hand and search for the right hand. Gaze up towards the right. Release hold. And then come onto the sit bones onto the mat. Take your left shin and lay it flat on the mat. And the left shin is parallel to the top of the mat. And then you'll take your right leg and the right ankle will come on top of the left knee. And the right knee will come on top of the left ankle. So your shins are stacked here. If you have some space in between your right foot and your left foot and your right knee, you can take a block or a blanket and just place it in between like that. And so keep both feet flexed here. Inhale to rise up, broadening the collarbones, lengthening the spine. Exhale to fold deeply over yourself. Stopping at any point where you feel that right outer hip stretch. It is said that we hold emotions, unsaid words into our hips. So if anything comes up, breathe through it, accept it. Begin to press into the palms as you lift up. And then untangle the legs, laying them out long. Moving the legs a bit, releasing any tension. Then taking your right leg, so the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Keeping the right foot flexed. And then bring your left leg to stack on top with the left ankle coming on top of the right knee and the left knee on top of the right ankle. Inhale to lengthen the spine here, broadening the collarbones, look up towards the sky. Exhale, walk your hands out in front of you, folding over the legs. And option 2 is to grab a block to rest your forehead if you would like. Press into the mat as you walk your hands close to your body, rising up, then lengthening the legs out long, shaking them out here. Take your right leg and cross it over the left. And then begin twisting to the right as you hook your left elbow on top of the right thigh, placing your right hand behind you like a kickstand, gazing over the right shoulder. Begin to twist through center, lengthening the right leg long, bending the left knee, crossing the left foot over the right leg, and then hooking your right elbow across that left thigh, and then twisting through the left with your left hand acting as a kickstand behind you. And twisting through center, keeping the left knee bent. Begin to bring your right foot towards your left sit bone. So your knees are stacked like this. The top of your left foot will come closer towards that right sit bone. And so the tops of your feet are aiming to be towards the mat, but as you can see, mine are not. It's just the action you're aiming towards. And then raise your right arm up towards the sky, and then bend at the right elbow, and then bend at the left elbow, and go and search with your left hand for your right hand. And if they don't touch, that's okay. My hands are not touching. And then inhale here to lengthen, exhale to fold. Begin rising up, releasing hold of the hands. And then you're going to begin walking your hands towards the right. And so if you keep walking your hands towards the right, lifting the hips, you'll come over onto the other side with your right knee stacked on top of left knee. So taking some adjustments here, so the tops of your feet are closer towards your sit bones and the tops of the feet are towards the ground. You'll lift the left arm up towards the sky, bend at the left elbow, then bend at the right elbow. Have your right hand come and search for your left hand. Inhale to lengthen the spine. exhale to fold. An option here is to release the hands completely down onto the mat like this. Again, checking in with your breath, how you're feeling. Begin to press into the palms as you lift yourself up. Just untangle the legs here. Coming onto hands and knees, and then coming back through downward facing dog. I find that downward facing dog is a really nice release after intense hip openers. Your heels are reaching towards the ground. Legs are aiming towards straight. Hips are reaching up towards the sky. Release the tension in the neck. Release tension in the jaw. Feel all 10 fingers press into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale to lower the knees, untuck the toes, and create some space in between the legs here as you lower down into a child's pose, wide-legged child's pose. Resting the forehead onto the mat, surrendering completely. Begin to press the palms into the mat, walk your hands in closer to your body. I invite you to come into Shavasana for at least 3 minutes. You can pause the video here. I'm not going to practice Shavasana right now. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this series of hip openers released some tension in the body and you feel a bit lighter now. Thank you so much. And thanks for tuning in.